everybody, it's Wootini from GayGamer.net here with another one of my video podcasts. This week, alright, let's get the good news out of the way. Well, okay, it's not good news, but we'll get the personal news out of the way first. I picked up another new game, which, oddly enough, is Forza Motorsport 3, because it came with my Xbox. When I finally gave up on my old Xbox, because it had red ringed a second time, I said, you know what, F it. I'm going to buy one of the new ones that don't have these problems, and also have a hard drive that's sizable enough, because I was getting really close to filling my 20 gig with all the music that I download for Rock Band and Lips and whatnot. So I said, you know what, let's just get one of the nice new black ones with the giant hard drive, more space than I can possibly fill, and in theory, it will, knock wood, whatever, it won't red ring. I just jinxed myself, oh god. Anyway, it came with a free copy of Alan Wake and a free copy of Forza Motorsport 3, which I think I bought this probably back in like November of 2010, and just cracked the shrink wrap on Forza Motorsport this past weekend. Because I don't really do racing games. But I've been really enjoying Ridge Racer 3D, so I wanted to try another racing game because I don't know if it's because it's in 3D that I like it, or if maybe it's introducing me to new genres, I don't know. Anyway, it's really a lot more complicated than Ridge Racer. It's very much of a simulation, and it's all very realistic and everything, so not doing as well with it, but I guess it's okay. I don't know. I mean, I only just tried it a little bit, so it's research for an article that I'm working on. So I'll have to keep at it, and we'll see what happens, but I still don't think racing games are going to rise up to be one of my favorite genres, to be fair. And I have to admit that I have been neglecting my Nintendog and Nintencat because I've been playing other Nintendo 3DS games, so I don't see them for a few days. So when I check in on them, they're really, really hungry and really, really thirsty, and they're kind of filthy. I don't know what they're getting up to. The house is perfectly spotless. I don't know how they're getting dirty, but whatever. Anyway, but that's about it, because I don't want to start any new games, because LA Noir is coming soon, and this past week I went to the screening at the Tribeca Film Festival, which you can find a whole article on GayGamer.net that I wrote about that, and I think it's great that a film festival was showcasing a video game, and it is in fact a very cinematic video game. We watched someone play through an entire murder mystery, and it was actually entertaining just to watch someone else play the game, even if you weren't actually playing it. So I can only imagine it's going to be even better when you're the one actually playing it. But that's coming in a couple of weeks, so I don't want to start anything new and massive. I know everybody else is playing Portal 2, but everyone else seemed to play Portal 2 and finish it in like 3 days or a week, and it's like, and done. And I'm like, that was fine when it was part of Orange Box, and it was one of multiple games that you could play. Okay, it was fine that you could play through it in a weekend, but if I'm going to pay $60 for something, like $50–60 has to last me more than a week. I mean, I know there's multiplayer, but I mean, if you're on PSN, you can't really take advantage of that. That's the main thing that's going on this week in the video game world. Which, honestly, I have not. I told you last week's podcast that I had only just put a game into my PlayStation 3 for the first time in months and months. And it's funny because the only reason that I noticed it was because it doesn't affect me, because I don't use my PlayStation. And then I'm like, hey, why aren't my trophies showing up in my Facebook feed? And then I'm like, oh right, because there's no PlayStation Network right now. But like, I stream my Xbox, I stream Netflix on my Xbox, and all of my multiplayer games, like Rock Band and such, I've always played on Xbox because more of my friends have Xbox than they do PlayStation 3. So the Xbox is where all the multiplayer is going on. at least with my friends. I just think, like, it's kind of insane. Like, it was kind of insane that the PlayStation Network went down for more than a day or two. But then not only was it, like, out for, like, a really long time, but then now they're like, oh, and they might have stolen some of your information. Oops. So, yeah, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on my credit. A friend of mine already canceled his credit card and got a new one. I'm not going to do that because I'd like to trust Sony when they say, oh, don't worry, it's very highly unlikely that your credit card was taken, but I am obviously going to be keeping an eye on my statement. And luckily my credit card company is really good at noticing weird charges, so that I fully expect to get a phone call from them to say, did you buy that? And I'll say, no, send me a new card. I don't know what, you know, they're going to put it back up. They're promising free things. I'm sure that what you will get for free is something really lame. They'll give you all DLC for a game you don't have, or some, like, oh, hey, oh, you know what it'll be? Because it's like the only PSN game that I've bought is Flower. They'll be like, everyone gets a free copy of Flower, and I'll say thanks, because I already have it. Just like when I filled out the survey for Your Shape Fitness Evolved that I got an email about. They're like, fill out this survey about your experience with Your Shape Fitness and get free DLC. And I said, yay! So not only was I unable to tell them, they didn't give you like a little box at the end saying, give any additional comments here, because that's why I would like to tell them a few things about the game, but they didn't give me that opportunity. So not only did I not get that opportunity, but they gave me a code for free DLC, which when I typed it into my Xbox, it said, oh, you already have this content. And I said, great. So glad I wasted my money. So I fully expect to get something lame from Sony, but it would be nice if they were like, hey, everybody gets $20 of free PlayStation money, spend it on whatever you want, because that would be kind of nice. Because it's not like they can say, oh, you get 6 months free service, because they don't charge for their service. So I guess you get what you pay for. Because you know that if this happened to Microsoft's Xbox Live, people would be losing their shite, because people are paying for that. Here, it doesn't bother me because A, I'm not paying for it, and B, like I said, I hardly use it. So I'm like, as long as you haven't compromised my credit card information, I don't mind as much. But come on, really get your act together, because this is just inappropriate in this day and age. And I mean, for somebody like Sony to let something like this happen, they're gonna have to work hard to get this fixed. That NGP better be really impressive at E3, because right now, Sony's got their work cut out for them. Anyway, hopefully by next week, it will be back up and running. And if not, wow, they're going to have some real problems. We'll see you next week. Bye!